Yep, Southpaw Slick, live at work. You can kind of say this is a part two to the humanoid robot video, but not exactly the same topic. Similar, but not exact. But this is a question from myself. This is not one that was answered. I was watching a video on YouTube with a guy walking around the streets of Miami, and he was asking men and women a question about if men don't need each other. I mean, if men don't need women and women don't need men, what are the alternatives for both genders? Some men, they said you can hire a maid as far as somebody to do like housekeeping, and you can hire a prostitute to get your sexual needs fulfilled. And for women, same thing. As far as like handiwork, you can hire a man to fix your car, your plumbing, your electricity. You have a replacement for that. As far as sexual gratification, same thing. Even though there's not too many male gigolos floating around, not that I know of because I don't look for them, but they also have the toys, you know, the dildos, the vibrators, and whatever other, you know, masturbatory aid that they work with. So it just made me think about it again. Of course, if we get that far in the future, my main thing was the procreation thing. Of course, I brought up the artificial womb before. I'm saying they've been working on that thing for years now. I don't know if it's something that's actually going to come into fruition within the next, let's say like 10 years. It'll probably be 50 plus years from now before people actually have access to it. But another thing that came to mind that also might be in the far future is the cloning process. Now, I do believe that's actually happening, but only the government has access to it. The masses or the general population doesn't have access to that. But imagine if we did. That would be the alternative right there as far as procreation is concerned. I'm saying imagine if you can clone yourself. Obviously, the end result would be you in your infancy or you as a baby, right? That's basically a second chance at life when you really think about it. Now imagine if the clone comes out, genetically is going to be a copy of you, right? But what if you can clone the knowledge you've gained as well? Okay, excluding the identity. I said you would want that clone to have its own identity if you're going to raise it as your own child, right? But let's say they had the knowledge that you have. That would be crazy. Or better yet, even if they don't, I'm saying you can put them on game with everything you've learned throughout your life. That's what I'm saying. You can right your wrongs in essence when you really think about it. I think that would be a better alternative than the artificial womb. Because I'm looking at it, the artificial womb would probably work like surrogacy or in vitro fertilization or artificial insemination. It's just another version of that. Or that's what I'm assuming. I haven't really looked into it. I just heard about it. I think the better alternative would be to perfect cloning and have it available to the masses. I think that would be the alternative right there for procreation. But this is kind of sad that this is even coming to mind. The fact that men and women don't need each other. I mean, technically we don't. But I still think that human connection between both of us is like extremely important. I'm saying we were made to be there for one another. I mean, I don't want to see men and women not connecting with one another anymore. I don't like the thought of that. But at the same time, people are becoming more comfortable with the idea. I'm saying, you hearing guys saying dating and especially marriage is not worth it. You know what I mean? Like there's no benefit in doing so. So why even bother? And then you have women following suit. Usually they follow suit because men are not playing the field. So it's like, okay, men are not dating, so I'm just not going to date because these men are not dating. That's what it seems like. But whatever. Whatever the case, they're pretty much on the same page right now. You're hearing women saying they're more focused on their career and getting their own bag instead of being a housewife and a mom to a man that is basically, they want to say a man that's ungrateful and taking care of children that you really don't want just because they're a guaranteed check down the line. I'm saying it's really making me think about that. But like I said before, with the humanoid robot thing, it would benefit men more than women in the long run. But I can see women hopping on board with that too, if they want something for utility value. And that's all I have to say.